Let's go right here. See? I just use a point. Maybe you can see that. But yeah, you can see that quite well. There we go. See, we'll come down maybe here. Here's the other part. Comes out like so. And you're not committed yet. This is just giving you an idea. Maybe there's an arm that lives right over here on this barn. We'll put an arm over here. Comes across, sort of. Look at there. See? That gives you a general shape. Now with the knife, I'm just going to tear out, rip it out. All the beautiful things we had back here. There they go. There they go. I think today I'll show you a different way to paint a barn. This is an old barn. It has old wood on it. Get all this color out. I'm gonna put some snow on the roof, and we don't want it to. You know about that yellow snow? I don't want that up there. Okay. There. I know that looks terrible. You're probably sitting at home saying, Bob, you have done it this time. Use a 2-inch brush. I'm going right into the Van Dyke Brown. Load the brush full of color. Give it a wiggle and pull it. That brings it to a nice sharp edge. Look how sharp that brush is. It's very sharp. Good. Let's go up here. All right, let's start with the overhang. There it is. See there? Now you could do all of this that I'm going to do with your knife. I just want to show you a different way of doing it. Grab this, pull it down. Pull down. Use both sides because the other side's fully loaded too. Here we go, over here. Look at that. That quick, that quick. There. If he's going to have a little arm out there, we need to put some wood out there. Got a little arm on the other side. Put some brown in there. And you're really still not too committed. You can still change your mind here. Let's go up the side. See there? Right up the side. Like that. And maybe, yeah, I'm going to have a little bit of wood showing right in here. All right, now, I want to make this look like old wood. Old wood. Now, I'm going to use the same old brush, and I'm going to go right into some white, some of the dark sienna, look at the brush. There, let's go up to the canvas. Now, start right here, touch, no pressure, no pressure, no pressure, no pressure. See there? Isn't that super? Helps if you're a little nervous. If your hand shakes a little bit, this is the time to use it. There, because it makes all these beautiful old wood effects. There we go. Now we need some on the other side. Ooh, there's a pretty one happening right there. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I get carried away sometimes just watching. There we go. Let's put some right out in here. Okay. Now over here, I'll just put a little indication. Not much of that's going to show. Now we can go back into the brown, and I want to put some shadows in here. And we're just barely touching. Barely touching. This is when we find out if you have a delicate touch. All right, now back to my knife. Go right into the Van Dyke Brown, cut me off a little. And let's put us some indication of a few boards in here. And I'm just going to quickly do this so you can see how it's done. Just let them go. And you put as many boards in yours as you want. This carpenter was like me. He wasn't too good. He just, whatever he had, he used. Over here, it's a few. There we go. Now with a clean brush, very light touch. Grab this and just caress it. Look at that. Bring all this together. Have you ever seen an easier, nicer way to make old boards? Now then, now we can get serious. First thing we need here is a door. Got to have a place to put the cow. There, we got a barn, got to have a way for him to get in. There we go. Nice door. And tell you what, put some snow right up here on this little arm. Some snow right along here. Just lay it on. And you'll come right down here. There we go, there we go, there we go, there we go. Choop. See there? And that gives us an idea of how to do a roof. I tell you what, I'm just going to sort of block this in so you can see it a little easier when you set. It's also a nice way to cheat a little and give yourself a guide. Touch, just pull down. Just give it a little pull, like so. There you go. Okay, now right out here, look here, look here, look here. A little more. There it is. See? A little bit right out here. And then just take your knife, smooth it out. Let's have a little bit of fun today. I want to use this old big brush as we got started. I'll go right into that dark brown color we made. Maybe. Right here. Let's have a huge big tree that lives right there. And all I'm doing is just touching the canvas and tapping. We're looking for some basic shapes. You want some basic limbs hanging over here. But that's about all we're worried about at this time. Quite a bit of paint on the brush. And just tap. Load your brush frequently. Don't be afraid to load your brush. There we go. There. You know, as I was saying earlier, we get a lot of cards and letters from people who are watching and painting along with us. Oh, and it does wonderful things to know that you're enjoying this and learning to paint beautiful, beautiful paintings with me. And if you like these shows, give your PBS station a call. Let them know. That's the only way they know what you want. And when they're out looking for help and they need someone to help them, give them a hand, because they bring you some of the most fantastic television, beautiful things. And sometimes they too need a little hand, and they need a friend. Volunteer your time. It pays you and your whole community fantastic dividends. There. Tell you what, that was so much fun. Let's have some over on this side. There he is. Just think about these things in your mind and drop them on canvas. It's that same old brown color. And it really doesn't matter. All we're looking for here is a dark color. It stands out against that light. Could be just about any old color. And wherever you think is a big, beautiful limb hanging, drop it in. Add a little Prussian blue into that. That'll darken it up and make it even stronger. Okay. Beautiful big trees. Easy to do and a lot of fun. Maybe there's a nice happy bush that lives right there. Comes round down. Look at that. Look at that. And that easy, you have all of your trees and bushes laid out, and that gives you an idea of where to go. We've got a lot of little limbs to do in this painting, so I think I'll cheat just a little bit here. And we'll take and just make a lot of little limbs here. Maybe there's some up here in this little tree. There we go. And maybe there's some over here in these. Just here and there. Okay, now happy little leaves out here, and we're just going to touch. Just let these little leaves jump off the brush. There we go. Look at there. All those little son-of-a-guns. Now, if you have trouble getting the paint to stick, add a little more of the Magic White. Remember, a thin paint will stick to a thick paint. There we are.
We'll just put little leaves everywhere out here. And the dark just becomes the shadow. Maybe right in here, a few. Now here's another happy little bush. Let's try a little bit of yellow ochre on this one. There we are. And I'm just going back and forth here between ochre and the yellow. And we'll just put some happy little things all up through here. There. All kinds of little leaves just happening. And I'll add a little more sap green now. I want these to be a little darker than I'm fixing to do now. And we'll go right back here in the background. Just lay a few of these on. Want these to be nice and loose and airy. There they go. Isn't that fantastic that you can put all these leaves and all these little things happening in the trees in just a matter of minutes? And if you're painting along with us at home, by now you should begin being quite happy about what's happening here. Okay, now then, let's take a little more of the Van Dyke brown and begin figuring out what we're going to build here. Just sort of let this happen. This is just straight Van Dyke brown. Maybe we'll have some land back in here. And maybe there's some over here somewhere. This is your world. So create land or bushes or trees or whatever, wherever you want them. Now we'll take a clean brush and grab the bottom here and pull straight down. Just pull it down. But it's important that it comes straight down. You don't want to do this at an angle. There. And if you don't get quite enough color, you can add a little bit to your brush. There, and just pull it down. Now very gently go across just to give it a watery feel. It's very easy to destroy all these nice little lines that you have in there.
We get carried away here and we beat and bang, and you need a strong easel. I'm going to use a little bit of the magic white. Pull it out very flat, cut across it, and let's go up here and just drop in some little water lines. Just here and there. There we go. There. And you're just absolutely cutting into the canvas. Just act like you're trying to cut a hole in it. Canvas is tough. Don't worry about it. You know, they make tents out of it. It's strong. Chances are you're not going to cut a hole in it. You'd really have to, you'd have to get violent to cut a hole in it. I don't want to be around if you're doing that. There we go. Okay. We got some buildings and some water. Let's work on that tree right there. It needs to have a little something, a little leaf on it. So we'll use some green and some yellow. And we'll come right in here and give him some happy little leaves. Okay. And maybe, right here, maybe there's another one, an individual that lives right there, right at his little foots. Okay, now we can reflect some of that right into the water like we did on the other side. Just here and there. Now with our large brush, pull gently down. Very, very gently. Come across. Delicate, delicate touch. Now then, I can finish up my water lines and we'll have this side finished. Just here and there, drop in a little happy water line. Okay, we can take a clean point of the knife, scrape in a few little trunks here and there, wherever we want them. Make some Or you can use your liner brush if you'd like and draw them in using different colors. I'm lazy. I just take the point of the knife and drop a few in. Looks good. Okay, now let's worry about the other side of the painting. Maybe we'll have some land coming right down here in the front. So let's take this old big brush. We'll take some sap green, Van Dyke brown, alizarin, little Prussian blue. And let's go right in here. There it is. Maybe it comes right out through there. I don't want to kill this water. I want it to go look like it's going on off in the background somewhere. Maybe there's a little reflection right here. A little bit of reflection right there. And then we can bring this maybe right on around like that. Wherever you want it to go. Just drop it in. There's a bush right there. See? Okay, so